So today I will be working towards fixing a big mistake. I forgot to put her bow on. I thought I could simply toss it on at the end, but no, if she's upside down, it would be under the skirt, not on top of the skirt. So, therefore, I have to redo the whole thing, or at least most of it. So how would that go? She'd have the hip bit right there. And then that would go like that. Then since her body is twisted, it was located right about here in the back. And it would be let's give the bow a bit of form. It goes something like that. So I've got the bow there, but can't see that aspect, and then the skirt would come up and go. There we are. Maybe. Oh no, not quite that wide, not quite that wide. Alright, so it would look a bit more like that. Okay. Something like that. Which now means I've got to touch up that. Erase this bit, and then cover up that area there. Okay, so let's get to it. Need some white. Touch up that guy. So I'm gonna go repaint you. Give a slight shortening of you, and that should be decent enough to convey it a little bit. Touching up some of these spots here. Could use some cleanup a little bit. I can still see the blue underneath, so another coat, another coat. Yeah, let it dry a bit first. also need the bow bit first. All right. Okay, so red, which would be you, and I think a little bit of white. Yeah, it's starting to get chilly here in Washington. And, hello, Moshi Killer, welcome back. Yeah. You know what, Shark? Yeah, I'm working at replacing the bow here that should have been there in the first place. But yeah, welcome back, man. Welcome back. But yeah, as I was saying, it's getting really chilly in Washington. It rained yesterday, which was really nice, especially for all that fire stuff going on. Rain's always a godsend for stuff like that. And I screwed it up. Shit. Too much white. Damn it. We're red. Are you? I'm not doing too bad. Not too great. Nothing spectacular. Just kind of normal, I guess. Keep putzing along. Keep doing more things. Yeah, at work, repair tech. I got nothing to fix, so I'm kind of just sitting there doing nothing at work. I help out at the cash register and stuff, but I don't have anything to fix. It's kind of weird. Especially since when I started, it was a lot of people were asking for things all the time. And I think part of it is cool, rain. Rain is nice. Yeah. The thing I love most about it is the smell. No, you're fine. It's I've got a bit of a delay on my end too. I've got used to have satellite. I've got cellular internet, so there's like 200-300 millisecond delay, at least for me, and then it's double for you plus whatever you've got. So delays are common here. Don't worry about it. I do not have super internet. I just have what I can get. Besides, it's not life or death if I answer right now, is it? Don't worry about it too much, man. Okay, so it was you, and you, and you, and yeah, let's go with that. And it's, I think we can go with a little bit of a cheat and go like that too. Yeah, that'll work. But yeah, it's it is what it is. Don't worry too much about it. Or it could be some Twitch thing being weird again. You can't ever rule out the operating system or the website or what have you, because those can always go weird. All right. But yeah, it's really weird having like a job with nothing to do. I've got an important one, and when people come in, it's like I'm the guy who fixes the problems and such, but it's kind of weird just not having anything to do. Yeah, I don't know. It just oh, you're literally on the other side of the world from me, man. Quite literally. You're on both north and south, and for the most part, the other way around too. So yeah, you're a bit away from me, or I'm a bit away from you, whichever one you would prefer. But yeah, it's yeah, it's I I don't really ever. The only app I've found that is more effective than the browser version is like Facebook or something, or like Instagram because it's built around it. But yeah, when you try and like use an app for the intended purpose, like one of the ones is YouTube, the browser one is more effective and better. Because yeah, like for the YouTube one, for instance, I like pausing videos, going to new tabs or something, and then coming back to it. You can't do that with the YouTube tab. You go shift somewhere else, and it like pauses for you so you don't miss it. It's like, stop doing things for me. I'll do it myself. Yeah, it's yeah. I still get paid for being there, and I treat it more so as an on-call type of thing. But yeah, for like the whole time I've been working there, most of the time I've had something to work on. I've had like slow days where there's like no new pairs, but generally speaking, there was always at least something to work on. It's been about mostly around a week-ish, potentially a bit more depending on how you classify some of no work. But it's just weird. It's like I go to work, don't have anything to do. It's alright. I don't have an iPad. I've got a Samsung tablet. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. But yeah, it's also that I don't do. It's not that I don't do anything at work. It's just we're a Radio Shack, small business, and all that stuff. Switching to 160p now to listen with an image. Yeah. That apparently is the standard procedure for Australians. You're not the only guy who watches at 160. And again, that's one of the reasons I would like a second camera so I can show you guys this and my lovely mug at the same time. But that seems to be not how the world wants it to work at the moment. Yeah, I think a lot of the problems with why I've got nothing to do is because phone repairs is often because people are out and about and they drop their phone, run it over with a car, things like that. But because of all this pandemic bullshit, nobody's going outside. Nobody's dropping their phone because they're at home using it or something like that. Alright, well, sorry, man. It's I can't really do much more than what I've got. I'm working at it, getting it moving so I can do some other stuff. But yeah, it's and on an Apple, I wonder, do they have like Firefox or Chrome apps on the iPad? But the toilet claims technically yes. But yeah, anyway, that's just my speculation on the subject. I don't actually have any information officially for that stuff. But you gotta try and come up with something to explain why nothing's happening. Oh, I did have the other day a Bose CD player come in that some guy wanted me to fix up for him that day because he needed to take it to an event the next day. It was a portable CD player, one you strap in a bag, and like it's got a battery bank with like 12D batteries. So big old honking thing. But what it was he had the battery system, and it's got a cord that comes out to an official one, and like their pin that goes into the socket, that broke off, and it's broken off multiple times, and he needed something just put together so he could work with it. We didn't have an exact one for him to buy, so I had to salvage one from our test leads. Yeah, we've got like this keyring full of like dozens of ports to figure out which one actually fits your model, and then we can search from it from there. But it never works out because they don't use the standard system of naming conventions or anything like that. So it's kind of silly. But yeah, I found one that did fit, so I cut it off and was planning to use that as a replacement. Good thing I checked though, because it is. It's the job is pretty cool when it works out. It's not so cool when it doesn't work out, but it comes with the territory, I guess. But I had the cord, and I thought I could just like cut it off, put it in, and solder it together. But what happened was that was only a display model, only for show. And both cords went to the same exact spot, which doesn't work electrically. So I had to disconnect them from that spot, put the other one on the point that it should be, and basically make it reconfigure it all. Cut the whole thing apart, fix it together, put it together, and then I could fix the cord for the player. Yeah, it was a bit of a problem. But nothing like substantially horrible. It was just more than I originally thought it would be. Give me one moment. But yeah, it's neat when I can fix some of that stuff. A bit, but again, I didn't have too many projects working at the moment, so it wasn't horrible. But the thing for me is generally not the time-consuming part, but when I'm on a time crunch, I need this done by tomorrow. That's honestly when a lot of things tend to go bad. But I enjoy the parts where I am able to solve a problem in unique ways, like the way I did there. We did not have an official part. I had to get a patch job going with what I had available, and it worked out, as far as I know. Yeah, the dude was a he works at a funeral home, I believe, and so he needed it for a funeral the next day in order to do his job of whatever it specifically happened to be. And so I needed to figure out something then and there. Give me 2 seconds. Right, I like that aspect. Concreter fiddle with electronics. Well, you can. It's in and of itself, general electronics are not too complicated. Once you start messing with like circuit board shit, like actual resistors and IC units and things like that, which I don't do because we don't have the tools for it, that gets really, really complicated and potentially expensive. But if you want to just like replace the screen on the phone, it really is. It can be as simple as taking out the screws, taking out the screen, and putting in a new one. You just buy the whole new thing, like replacing a light bulb. But yeah, or you could also just like take apart old game console pieces and just like see how they work. You just take things apart and then put it back together. It's most of my job. And actually, I think the other aspect was I did take an electronics course in high school. It was the only one offered to us because we had a teacher who was able to do that. I'm quite thankful for that. Decompression? I ain't never done that, man. Am I supposed to? Yeah, it's yeah, a lot of the repair work and logistics for a lot of that stuff is some people think, oh, it's just this little piece here. Can't you just like take this little piece and like replace it? It shouldn't be too expensive. Well, no, that one piece is dirt cheap, and you could probably buy it for pennies if you could find just that piece. But that piece is actually a lot easier to replace if I just get the whole unit it's attached to, and then replace that instead. Like on a lot of Apple products, the charge port is one example of that. The charge port has the charge port and the microphone and the connector for the one of the touch vibro motors and something else I'm forgetting. I think there's something else in there as well. But yeah, it's got a whole bunch of components all into it at once. Oh, that's the glass part. Yeah. Yeah, there's which one was it? The iPhone or an Android? Because iPhones, for the most part, are just held together with 2 screws and adhesive on the edges. And if you try to force glass up one way, it will crack because glass doesn't bend as much. One of the tricks to, at least for an iPhone one, there are some models that require a bit of heat because they've got a lot more adhesive than the other ones. But yeah, you can take like an X-Acto blade, slip it right through the crack between the base frame and the screen, and kind of twist the blade to pry it up. And then you can get like a playing card, slip it through, and break the seal on it and pop it off. Androids are a bit more touchier when it comes to screens. And one of the other things is there's a site. If you're ever interested in that's a website that shows you the repair process for how to do most electronics. Most ones people are using nowadays. And it's run by people who it's all like user submitted type stuff. There's some official things as well from somewhere. I don't specifically know where, but yeah, they do a lot of things. Yeah, her skirt needs to be a lot brighter. Raid, hello, welcome. Guitar 3457. I don't have a raid message. Might have to fix it again. But hello, welcome. Cool. But yeah, that iFixit is a place where you can just go and look up the process to fix your phones. I quite literally do that for my job. It's like, it's not that I know everything about all electronics. I'm familiar with the basic premise of it. Like on a car, you've got the engine, your transmission, your tires, and stuff like that. They're all basic components on everything. The question is how that particular model puts it all together. And if you ever want to figure out a way to fix your phone or some such, that would definitely be the place to do it. He ditched you, buddy. He ditched you. Dumped you in some no man crazy dude over here and left you to be. Anyway, welcome to the stream. I'm currently painting Sailor Moon, based off a sort of request from one of my viewers. How's your day been? But yeah, welcome. I'll treat you much better than your friend there. I can maybe guarantee it. I don't know. Depends on how nice of a guy you are. But yeah, we're just sitting here chilling, chatting about whatever the hell it is. Oh, there he is. I jumped. Welcome. Sly Raptor. Welcome to the channel, guys. It's not much going on right now, but currently I'm fixing a skirt. Oh, thank you. Right. But yeah. Currently I'm fixing a skirt. I originally had it where it was just hanging down normally, but I realized I forgot the bow. You can see it right about there on her waist. I was like, oh yeah, that just goes like on top. And so I was going to put it on top here, but it's like, wait, no, she's upside down, so it would be not on top, but below. So I had to redo the whole skirt area here. Not overly all that complicated, but it's like one of those things that you're like, oh man, can't believe I forgot to do that. But yeah, it's I'm just here kind of learning how painting works and figuring it out. I've got a couple other ones. 1, 2, 3, and a fourth one behind the palette there. You can't quite see it, but yeah. But yeah, so been doing painting for a couple months now, I think. And like 2, and maybe a third if you stretch those ones out. I'm trying to do it most every day. Get things going, figure it all out. Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Yeah, it's been an interesting experience. I would definitely recommend picking up a craft of some sort. It does help you out and kind of gives you something else to do. Alright, that skirt definitely needs to be a lot brighter. And thank you for the follow. Thank you. I sleep now. Take it easy. Alright, man. Have a good one. Sleep is definitely something you should not try and skimp out on. As I say, as I've had past 2 nights with not as much sleep as I should have. Do what I say, not what I do. Well, cool. I'm just that awesome. Yeah. Stuck here forever. Anime Bob Ross. It's like I apparently have that effect on people. Definitely Bob Ross vibes all over the place. It's like that's like my number one what people call me, the Bob Ross guy. And over here we just nice even little strokes. Have a happy little skirt frame over here. And you make a mistake, don't worry about it too much. It'll just become a part of the painting. Be a little bit more glad that you had it there. Early bedtime. A lot slower though. Yeah, I am. Bob Ross is stupid fast with how much he paints. But the other one is he's doing like just let's put a mountain here and some trees here and a lake here and just kind of go with it. I'm still learning how to do it, as well as trying to do a actual reference. Seagulls. I don't know, man. We'll find out. My eyes. Hopefully they like this. Yeah, it's give me a sec. Yeah, my overlay is I put it together myself. I didn't do any of the artwork. It's all official stuff around here. But I felt like I needed one for my other stuff. Sly Guitar went to bed. But yeah, it's I just a lot of stories and games that I've played before, and thought would make a neat little collage area. And I know I've played all the games, know all these characters. I should add to it a bit more. I really do need to. Yeah, you're right. I need to update a bit. Yeah, it's I've been meaning to for a while. I keep trying to touch around and do a bit more and change out every so often different ways of going about it. And it's for me, it's always a bit of a change. Sometimes I get like stuck in a habit. Well, it's kind of always been like that. It should be like this. My biggest issue was like streaming so much activity. Oh, honestly, it's only right here. Everywhere else is just kind of plain, and hell, it's you can see it right there on the edge of the posters. That's insulation. It's just straight up nothing there. Yeah, I'm currently in a cabin that me and my dad built ourselves from our own lumber. Finally crashed from. Apparently, my stream is causing all sorts of glitches. yeah, not entirely by hand. We did use power tools, but yeah, we live on a mountain in the forest. It's my parents' property. And we went out and logged trees, like actual trees, on the ground, chainsawed them up, brought them back here, turned those trees into logs, turned those logs into boards, turned those boards into this house. Every single plank in this building is our own wood. We didn't buy a single board for this construction, which is like one of my proudest things I've ever done. Yeah, hell, even the floor. There's no plywood flooring. It's literally paneled wood. That took a hell of a long time to make, though. Yeah, I do not recommend doing that. Because yeah, you can make like you can take a tree and like turn it into a 2x4, 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 or something like that, and you get like 6 boards out of a log, just random number. But to make the flooring, you gotta make it like ½ inch and like board, and you get 2 feet. And you gotta go board, and you get another 2 feet, and it takes a long time to do that. Long time. Yeah, we spent more time on the floor than we did any other part of this building because of that one thing. But yeah, it works out and it's interesting. And ideally, this was going to be a mobile one. We could like it's currently on posts, and we could like slip a trailer underneath, cut the posts off, and then drive it off somewhere. If we wanted to, but that's not likely going to happen. 1, we need a trailer, and 2, I need a place to put it. The board grind, just a bit. But yeah, I've done quite a lot of interesting things in my life. But yeah, building a cabin with my dad from our own lumber, that's gotta be one of the top ones. Some of the other ones is I've been to Germany. I went to Portland. I know belly dancing. That's why I got that poster there. I've got it signed by Rachel Bryce herself. I know ballroom dancing. I can do sewing. I've got dolls. I tried to make clothing for. Oh yeah, here. I guess that works. Give me 1 sec. I'll do a crazy balancing act here. But yeah, right there, I've got some dolls. Dolphy Dream, Smart Doll, and whatnot. And actually, you can see it like the very edge here. There's like a purple and gold dress there. I made that one by hand. So it's fascinating. Trying different things, trying new experiences. it was, and we were, because, yeah, like I said, I'm currently at my parents'. Yes, I I am technically speaking a professional belly dancer. Not the best, but I have been paid to belly dance in front of people. And yeah, it's dude, I've even got zills right here on finger zills. And tap them on. Belly dancing is really fun, actually. I would recommend it if you ever get the chance. Didn't know that was a thing. Oh, yep. Honestly, anything is a thing if you make it. But yeah, so I was part of a little dance troupe. I got it down here. Give me 1 sec. Pull it out real quick. I keep this around just to prove it. But this is my belly dance troupe. That's me sitting there in the middle. And yes, they are carrying swords. We actually have part of that as the dance act as well. What is belly dancing? How do I explain this? If you have you seen the well, there's different types of belly dancing. Currently I do the tribal style, American tribal style technically, but give me a sec. Let's see if I got any of that stuff here. No. I don't have any of those belly dance music just readily available at the moment. But Frozen, that's it. Give me 1 sec. I'll be right back. I could have sworn I had more available, but most of my stuff is in the bag in the car, which I'm not going to get to right now. Yeah. Oh no, this is not the one. Damn it. So I guess all I got to show you is the pants that my teacher made for me. These are belly dance harem pants, big old poofy things, and they just sit right here, and you can do around. Very just fine. But yeah, it's belly dance. Here, I'll take off my shirt. Is a type of dance that originated in Middle East area. If you've ever seen Hunchback of Notre Dame from Disney, and the girl he falls in love with, the gypsy lady, that's kind of the feel, the style for it. You can see it, well, here. This is what a belly dancer looks like. Since you've got 160p, I'm going to try and keep it simple. Got very significant, different style to it all. Give me a second, I'll show you a few dance moves. And of course I lost that. I lost my tack. Shit. Well, I can't do that. I'll figure that out later. But belly dance is a style that, yes, India is pretty popular with it. Also, Egypt and other Arab type countries. But belly dance is a dance that's mostly concentrated here. Give me a sec. You've got your belly, and it's a lot of hip movement. Okay, forgive me for a bit. I'm really rusty. One of the things that they're well known for is shimmies. Is when your hips go do 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 do. You've also seen potentially some other ones. A lot of Carib clubs do dancing as well, and they have dance. I can't hear no music because I'd have to unplug my headphones. I don't want to do that. But yeah, it's yeah, that is but belly dancing power. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and I really don't have enough room or the music set up to do it right here. But yeah, I used to do it professionally. I got paid for it. I'm not no expert in any means, but yeah, belly dancing. This is called Arabic. You lift up your chest and kind of roll it back down. Here. Kind of like that. Then you've got the Egyptian. Well, here's Turkish. Can't totally sure. I'm all over the place, man. I'm really rusty. Quarantine has done no help for the dancing style because it's a very summer-oriented one. Why would I lie on the internet? Making a mess today. Making all sorts of a mess today. But yeah. I can do more, but I'm like I said, really rusty. I haven't actually been out to dance since like February, something like that. Beautiful. Belly dancing. Thank you. You'd be amazed at how many people just like start giving me money because of belly dancing and such. I gotta fix that. I can't remember where my tax went to. I think my family borrowed it. I think my family borrowed some tax, which is why I don't have them here. I'll go bug them later about it. But yeah, belly dancing. It's a lot of other ones. I've got and it's a really fascinating dance because there's so many different types of it. I practice the there it is. American tribal style type of dance, which is, the simplest terms, it's like gypsy dancing. That would be the closest layman's term understanding of it. But then there's cabaret, which you probably see in like nightclubs. They wear like really pink or blue and like really skimpy outfits with like big flowing tassels out front. Not tassel, but like a skirt that goes like on the inside of the legs and shows the legs off. That would be cabaret style. Then there's Baroque style. There's blanking on the name, give me a moment. Ballady, they do the stuff with a cane. It's a bit odd, not quite my thing, but some people are interested in it. I think that's a Turkish style. Or no, not Turkish. It's a different style. But one of the things with American tribal style is swords. Okay, yeah, it's everyone's probably at least seen some type of belly dancing in their lives, even if they're not fully exposed to it. They at least know what it would be like. But American tribal style, you can have swords, and those become a way to do things. And I've got one troop member who just absolutely loves the swords. And one of the things about the dancing is you can balance them on your head. And then you're doing those moves with the sword stuck on your head. And then you do spins and whatnot and catch it. And she actually was able to do a dance routine with, I think it was 4 swords. 2 on the head, 1 at each arm, and she shifted around, 1 on the shoulder, and just kind of do all sorts of belly dance moves. But yeah, it's really fascinating, very diverse. It's mainly a female-oriented dance because, quite honestly, they look better at it. But there's no stipulation that it's only female. Men can do it, but most men don't want to, unwilling, but we can still do pretty good with them. That's more than I can count. What, 4? But yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, different styles, and one of the other ones is Zills. Here, let me you know what? While we're on this train of thought, I'll do it for you. Anyway, grab the other one. Again, give me a sec. I'm smidge rusty on these. There's a couple of different cadences that you can do with these. What is it? 313, 355, 377. I think are the styles. Give me one sec. I'll try and keep it from blowing your ears off. They do get a bit loud. I can do it muted, I guess. But yeah, one of the things is they also have zills. I know it can be really loud, so I'm gonna mute it a bit. But they go Yep. Yeah. It's been a while. Man, this music's too slow for me to do it. But yeah, there's different styles of it. And then there's every beat. What is it? Honestly, weirdly enough, the hardest beat to do on these ones is when you go every beat, because there's no difference. Because the standard one gallop is 1 2 3 1 2 3. It's 1 2 3 pause 1 2 3 pause 1 2 3 pause 1 2 3. But then every beat is just beat 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 beat, and it's really hard to keep track of where the hell you are with all that stuff. But yeah, no 3 plus 1, so whatever that is more than I can count. I can do 234 times 3 or 4 in his head. But yeah, these are zills. They little instruments, and one of the neat things about belly dance is it incorporates a lot of different movements. You can have like zills, and so you're focusing on your hip work and your belly work and your shoulder work, and then you're doing this while moving around, while keeping the beat of all of it to the music. It gets actually really challenging, but really fun. So yeah, if you ever like have done the move your hand in a circle and then put your foot in another direction, think of that, but for your whole body multiple times over. Because yeah, there's footwork, there's hip work, there's belly work, there's chest work, there's hand work, there's shoulder work, all while keeping everything in beat, while remembering how to do the move while following everybody else. It's really cool. And you don't start out doing all that shit at the same time. You start out with learning the moves individually and baby steps first. Just a bit. Well, you can add on to them. It's a modular type of dance. It's not a, this is the only way to do this move. You have to do it in this pose. You right step out, put like this, and then that is the move. No, it's based off, okay, you do a shoulder shimmy, and then belly roll it back up, and then hip bump, all sorts of stuff like that. it's not the full. It uses the full body, but it uses full body in parts and sections, and so it's interesting. And you can do a lot of different experiments and crazy things with it. Yeah, my troop, we have a lot of fun with the Halloween. There's a little convention in the city on over, and I need to fix that. And we would we made a big old dance routine with Halloween in mind. It's a really silly situation. But oh yeah, no, I do all sorts of shit. That's kind of where my name came from. Looking for craft. I've done drawing. I've done sculpting. I've done chainmail. Oh yeah, I think that's right over there. I think that's it there. I've done chainmail. I do jewelry. I've done sewing. I've done drafting for the sewing. Painting. I do electronics. That's my job. Auto mechanics. I've done sheet metal for my parents' job, making medieval armor. Lumber, construction. Yeah, just about anything. Gomer after life story. But yeah, no, it's you can do whatever. And nothing is stopping you from trying out new things in life. And if you want to do something, you know, you're the only one who's stopping you. I have wanted to try some, like, actually the story into how I got into belly dancing is a little bit of a weird one. I had for the longest time been stuck inside without things to do, and I needed something to do. And so I started looking around this tiny little town for something interesting. At the time I was looking for like a martial art or something, like but I didn't want karate or taekwondo, which is the only two things that are out here. I wanted something a little bit different that fit better with me personally. And so I found Tai Chi. I thought that might work out better. That might fit my personality better. And I started looking around for it, and we don't have it here. It's like, well, shit, let's try and find something else. Well, maybe boxing. That could be kind of fun. We don't have that here. Well, shit, what the hell do we have? Maybe dancing? Let's try dancing. Well, we've got hip-hop jazz dance. I don't follow that. We've got Irish step dancing, which is neat, but not my thing. And we've got ballroom dancing. Ballroom. Why the hell not? Let's go do ballroom dancing. So I went and did ballroom dancing. Found I loved it. But it was a seasonal thing, and it only lasted a couple months. So once a week for like 3 months or so. Not a hell of a lot of time to really get into the dance. Oh, come on, stop being so silly there. And so I wanted, like, well, I like dancing. Dancing's pretty fun. Let's see if I can find something else for it. I'd love to do Tai Chi. Yeah, it's and the other thing is, like, honest, actual Tai Chi, not this new wave mumbo jumbo. It's good to breathe. Simply wiggle your arms around and it's good for you. Those, you can just, like, spot them, like, where they're just kind of going through the motions for good health and being nice for you, as opposed to, no, this is what Tai Chi actually is. It's not designed around good health. What it normally does leads to good health. So I wanted somebody to actually teach and show real Tai Chi, not like yeah, it's like, but you know what I'm talking about, like the fake masters, where they just are like they're just there to get you to join up into the group, the club. They aren't there to actually teach you how to do that shit. Why are you a different color? Why are you a different color? You should be the same color. And you're not. I'm fine to be that way. Oh, yeah. she's got, yeah, is that? She's got white strips on her neck. Gotta fix that. That want money, yeah. It's same here. But one of my problems was I'm in a small town. I think the town's total population is 5,000, and I don't know if I'm considered in that population because I'm 20 miles outside of town, and so we're a fair amount of people. But 5,000 is the biggest one in the county. We're like actually the head of the county here for that size, but even still, there's just not that much here. Need dedication. Yeah, that's it. I can see that. It's also, it seems interesting. It's from a personal experience, I've always enjoyed the brawlers or the unarmed fighting in video games and such, and so boxing and such has a bit of a special place in my heart. I guess part of it probably stemmed from like Tifa and Final Fantasy. I guess would be the first one. I like how she just punched everything to death. While everyone else is using like big old honking sword or like an arm cannon or shit like that. No, she just punches shit and still wins. But yeah, brawling is an interesting way of going about things, and boxing flows into that. Give me 1 second here. A little less for you. Because what is it? Yeah, I'm painting right now. I used to do football in high school. I did a defensive line. I was a lineman. Defensive end is what I was, and special teams, kickoff, return, yada yada. I was pretty good at it. I tend to be a bit fast. Well, it technically is a martial art, yeah. It works. You can fight off people with boxing. So it absolutely is a martial art. Maybe not the most effective at for taking up people of the Asian cultures, Muay Thai or what have you. But I feel on the subject anyway, there's a fair amount of martial arts that don't quite work. They look flashy and fancy but aren't quite effective, at least from a layman's standpoint, I guess. Give me a second. I'm making a very thin straight line. I'm trying not to screw it up, so I gotta focus here. And that's one of the reasons why I like boxing as a concept, because boxing is a very simple, and it is what it is. It's the art of punching somebody in the face or the body. That is all the boxing technically is. There's footwork and such as well, of course, but it's a very simple and basic concept that's made very, very efficient, as opposed to some of the other martial arts like Kung Fu, for instance. They've got like tiger and mantis and a bunch of odd things. I guess they technically work, but they just feel off. Now, they're flat out impressive when people can pull them off all over the place, but there's just a difference to them. Yeah. Make a big profit if people watch them. Oh, yeah, no, it's boxing rings and such. But I don't know, boxing, it's fascinating. I've never actually watched any of the sports, the big ol' matches of any of that stuff. I've never been one to actually watch too many sports. I much prefer playing and taking part in them. Which is, again, why I'm in belly dancing and the like. It's more fun for me to actually take part in it. There's a difference between watching and doing. Watching, it's like, oh man, did you see that? That's pretty awesome. And which is pretty awesome, depending on what it is. But when you're participating, when you're actually part of the... give me just half a second. When you're actually there, you're in the moment, there's something very different of when you're able to just focus entirely on the task at hand. Like, for instance, boxing. I'm not an expert, but you're just in that moment. And the only thing there is you, your fist in the guy's face. I guess I got a dry throat. Sorry about that. Some drinking to do is people don't quite realize. I think part of it is some people think in like the game world type stuff where your character can just run forever and that becomes the normal. Well, yeah, they can just go forever at that. But they don't quite realize how tiring physical aspects are. Like hell, there's like 100-meter sprinters is like a perfect example. They put all 110% of their effort into running as fast as they can to get there. And by the end, they're just flat tired. It doesn't matter how much stamina you have, you will get tired. But one of the neat facts about humans, though, is we're actually built for endurance and stamina. It's actually kind of a weird thing. Because I want to say the human body, but there's probably other animals as well. I don't know of any off the top of my head. But where they we're built to for the long haul. Hell, there's even like old ancient hunters who used they would hunt animals by walking until the animal got so tired they collapsed from exhaustion, and then they would just walk up and stab it and kill it and spend no more effort than just walking there. Yeah, the body gets really weird. You can spend a lot of effort to get a bit faster and sprint away when your life needs to, but to stay in that mode for very long periods of times is not effective. It doesn't last. But humans, we can, like our second wind, we can just keep going. It may not be the fastest way, but we can just keep going and keep taking it and keep doing and keep moving forward. And it's quite impressive, the amount of power there is in just one more step, one more try. Keep going, keep going. And to link it back to the stream, that's the reason why I do this most every day. It's just keep going. One more step, one more thing. Just keep on going, and eventually you'll get to where you need to do. Come on, clean up. There we are. Where to them? They don't have good stamina. Yeah, it's and like hell. If you like take some of those people who complain that they don't have much stamina, and you okay. There was this one concept off tangent. That was like a really good idea, but it would be really silly. Of like in the Olympic Games when you're watching them, oh, they don't seem overly fast. It's like, yeah, they're fast, but it doesn't seem all that much. But you're watching the best of the best of the best compete against the best of the best of the best. And so the line between superb and not superb is very minor. And one of the guys says, well, you should have like some random member of the audience try and compete against these Olympic athletes to see how impressive they actually are. You get a frame of reference. Like these guys sprinting across it, Usain Bolt being like ungodly fast. You just have one dude in the volunteer stand just running as fast as he can, and they finish, and they could probably like lap him twice before he finishes. I'm Brandon Snowy. the 100 meters break, the human body can continue to get fitter and fitter. But yeah. And yeah, it's like, and that was how the walking hunting thing worked. The animal would get freaked out, sprint out, and rest, and get tired and recuperate. But we would just slowly walk, and non-stop walk up to them, find them. They'd freak out. They'd sprint away and try and take a break again. We'd walk, catch up to them. They'd sprint away. We'd walk, catch up to them. They'd sprint away. We'd walk, catch up to them. And they eventually just get so tired they can't move anymore, and we just stab. Hey, look, food for grizzly bears. I believe I actually ran into a grizzly bear. Or our family did. One of the first years we moved here. Yeah, it happened right over there. Actually, big ol' honkin' monster was saying. And it was coming towards our house, and we've got animals and the like, so we really needed them to that bear to not be there. So my dad pulled out the shotgun, self-protection type stuff, and fired off a warning shot. The bear didn't budge. It kept walking. So my dad got another shot, fired at him, and then it realized and took off. But when a bear, especially one, it was like from the floor down there to this is about waist height here. It was probably about yay big, standing on all fours to the shoulder, which was quite an impressive feat. When a bear like that doesn't move when you fire a gun, that's a really bad thing. And then you would have to shoot to kill, because if it realizes you're just firing off warning shots and chooses to ignore them, yeah, you just unload everything into it. Freaking grizzly bears. We only saw it once, and it was, I think, meandering through. Big grizzly bear. Yeah. It was like a fully grown one. Well, we think it was a grizzly bear. We're not entirely sure, because it was only there for that one day, and then we never saw it again. But ever since, it was either a really big brown bear or a grizzly bear. Pretty sure it was a grizzly, but it's just still kind of spooky. Smarter than the average bear, boo-boo. Yeah, indeed. Give me a sec. I gotta look at. I want to try and focus on. Not you. You. There we are. Okay, let's see if I can get this accurate. Oh, that's it. Find out first. But yeah. In other events of animals and such that have walked across our property. Yeah, we've had cows. Just flat out cows. We're on a mountain in a forest, just in the middle of bum hell nowhere, and we've had cows walk to our place and just kind of just take up camp right out there in our front yard. It was like I walk out the door one day and it's like, those are cows. What the hell are cows doing here? Like literally overnight, just cows appeared in my front yard. Just what the hell are you cows doing here? And so they sat here and just kind of looked at me. What are you doing? What the hell are you doing here? And then they just were gone the next day, but not after leaving us many, many pies for us to enjoy. Cow pies suck. They last forever and don't ever go away. They're horrible. Far away and free milk? Not quite. What happened was with the cows is they were free range. There's a lot of cow farmers, I guess would be the term for them. And what they do is just kind of let them go into the forest or wherever and let them be, and then wrangle them up when it's time to go to the slaughterhouse or what have you, or whatever it is they do afterwards. And so in order to protect them from coyotes and wolves and bears and whatnot, they have bulls that stay with the herd. So the bulls stay with the cows, and if you try and mess with them, the cow will interfere and mess you up. Very much so. Dairy farmers and beef cattle. Yep. But yeah, it's yeah, it was an interesting experience. Yeah, every so often around that time of year when they let the cows out and they have to wrangle them all back, you'll be driving down the highway and all of a sudden the entire thing is taken up by cows. Just like you've got cowboys sitting there on their horses trotting along behind about like 100 cows, and you're trying to get to work and they like pull off to the side, let you pass around. So yeah, you literally get to pass cows in your car down the highway because there's that many cows just sitting there. And again, they make a mess of the highway. Cows are very messy, very, very messy. Well, my dad's looking into getting some. Yeah, we've got some livestock here. We've got chickens currently and 2 guinea hens, dogs and cats and shit like that. But yeah, my dad's looking at getting into cows as well. He's looking at getting a breed called a Scottish Fold, I think is the name of it. You've probably seen them. They're the fuzzy cows, big old orange fuzzy cows with hair all over, and kind of short, smallish. Fun but dirty at the same time. It wouldn't quite like that job of cleaning it up, but paint is so weird. I have to use it up in like seconds without it drying out. I only have that much paint. But yeah, it's interesting living out here. Yeah, when we originally got this property, it was an old logging lot. They logged a bunch of trees, and we were about to get ready to log it again, but just not really worth it here. We'll sell it. The original idea was to grow them up and sell them to a butcher or something like that, but my folks are too they can't do it. They're not very good at the butchering aspect of things. So it's going to be a milk cow, and it's going to be a pet, which is kind of what our chickens turned into as well. Give me a sec. There we are. And come on. Come on. There we go. Yes. Yeah, we originally got our chickens. This is our third group of chickens. Yeah, we've had most of our flock wiped out by coyotes, ferrets, weasels, owls, hawks, bears, coyotes, whatever the hell it was. Yeah, this is technically our third generation of chickens. We had a first one, and then we added some to it. But then they got eaten up, and so we had the kids of that original group come through, but there weren't too many of them, so we got new chickens. The original idea was we were going to have chickens for eggs and meat, but my folks don't really have the heart in them to do the butchering for the chickens. They've become pets, especially for my dad. It doesn't sound so good, does it? No, it's but I understand. I'm kind of the same way. I've offered, if you need me to, I'll do the butchering for you, or at least the killing. They can handle the processing the meat. They don't like the killing aspect of the animals because they are pets, really. Yeah, we had one sec, trying to find a little bit here. There we are. Cool. Got it. Yeah, I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, they have trouble with the killing aspect, and I've offered to do that for them if they need to, but they still don't have the heart to go through with the whole process. The exception being a couple of days ago when we actually had to butcher some of the roosters. They were causing a lot of problems with the flock, and my dad finally figured out which ones it was, and finally went through with the killing process of it. And it was actually a really good thing because apparently they were very much so harassing the hens to a very detrimental degree. And it's yellow. I don't have that. I'll need to mix some new colors. Is that? Oh, that's red. I can get a little red spot right there. But they were harassing the hens so much so that they're missing feathers in a lot of areas. And so he finally butchered those two roosters. And one of the things he noticed was when he let the chickens out after he did that, there was no hassling, there was no squawking, there was no mad dash to get free of the chicken pen. The chickens were all calm, collected, happily eating the feed that he spread on the ground. There was no fighting, and it made everything just better. Those two roosters that he took out were causing so many problems that he'd open up the coop, spread out some feed, and those hens would dash immediately outside of the pen, try and get away. And it was kind of a necessary thing to do for the health of the chickens. All of them, rather. And we have yeah, that's probably not the part they like. It's there. My family gets very attached to animals. We've had pets ever since I've been alive. We've had a pet of some sort. I even had a horse at one time. My uncle gave me a horse for Christmas one year. He had horse property, and he was a veterinarian, and he was looking into horsing something or other at one point, but it fell through. I honestly don't know the whole story, but he didn't want to get rid of the horse, so he gifted it to me, but kept it at his place. So it was still his horse, but he was able to give me a present type of thing. And so, yeah, his name was Tony. He was an old horse. And yeah, you could he loved our rides. Every so often we'd go down there. It wasn't really on a schedule or anything like that, but we would go down there and let him out on the back roads. This is down in Phoenix, mind you. And we had a mountain back behind his property, so we'd take the horse out and ride up and down the mountain, and just kind of go for a hike with the family. And there's this one spot, and like when we were on the way back, and he could tell what it was, and he'd get all excited and happy. And it was a big old long shot down a mountain, right down towards our street, or the street of my uncle's place. And my dad would just, okay, Tony, go. And then he would just try and go full on running and try and make it as fast as he could down the road. You could tell he loved it. Hey, Cyrus, welcome back. Talking about horses and animals and chickens and all sorts of shit like that. Two roosters, yeah, roosters can be problematic. Hello. But yeah, it's the hens can fight back, but the hens we have are kind of small-ish, and the roosters were rather large, so it was a bit of a difference there. Alright, so you apparently I want to try something. Give me a sec here. And it does work. Cool. I had a viewer recommend me using charcoal to mark on a canvas, and then I could just wipe it away. It looks like I can. Cool. Because graphite doesn't come away unless you erase it. And electronics before that, yeah, that's... And belly dancing. Can't forget the belly dancing. Cyrus, you missed me belly dancing. I had to explain to these fine folk what belly dancing was. But yeah, it's that's this channel. It goes all over the damn place, and which makes it really hard to explain. So, what's your channel about? Everything and nothing. But yeah, it's just kind of go off and do whatever. Which is why most topics aren't really any taboo here. Go ahead and chat about whatever you fancy down here. Other than like sex, religion, and politics, the three standards most things go with. Though politics being an increasingly more flexible rule on this part, especially considering I'm in America and we're probably going to hit a civil war come November. The likelihood of it happening is very high. But yeah, we talk about all sorts of things: Sailor Moon, anime, chickens, belly dancing, electronics, phones, game because of epic internet. Yeah. You can't still game with poor internet. You just have to find the right game. Apparently I missed a spot there. Yeah, I used to game with satellite internet. I used to go and play online games with satellite internet because that's the only internet we had other than dial-up. And even then we couldn't use dial-up because we'd have to install the phone line, which was like $800 for dial-up, which we didn't really need. But yeah, I played Warcraft MMOs because we were able to. The latency wasn't as big of a deal as it would be for a first-person shooter like Counter-Strike, Team Fortress, Call of Duty, what have you. So yeah, we would play Warcraft. Our original satellite internet had a ping of 1500 milliseconds, which, if any of you guys know, is literally a 1.5 second delay for everything that happens in the game. And one of the weirdest things is, like, when you're going back to normal internet after playing like that so far, you get so used to that delay being there that when it's gone, it's jarring and feels weird. Because yeah, we would play with 1500 second delay, and we were just so used to having to play a 1.5 seconds in advance. Like, that guy's over there, I'm back here, which means I'm actually back here. Yeah, in Warcraft, to give you an example of how it played in melee range. Sorry, got something in my neck today. I would have a character, and in Warcraft you could chase after a guy and hit them in the back with a melee range, right? Barely, sort of, with satellite. With satellite, if somebody ran away with you and you had to fight them with a melee weapon, it's almost a lost cause, because you would have to run past them. Like, this is the enemy character and this is you. It would look like you were right here in front of them, hitting them in the back just barely. That's how much of a delay it was. We were like right here hitting them, but it looked like we were playing right here, and they would die, and oh, that was it. Turn back around and go catch them. And so the worst thing you could do for us when we were playing a melee class was run away, because we can't catch you. Just flat out, we can't catch you. Which is why you learn ways and to deal with that. We can't play the melee class very well, so let's do a range class. Well, what range classes work out? For me, it was a warlock, because warlock has a pet, has damage over time spells that are instant. We can just get them off and get them on a character and start doing damage, and the pet can do part of our damage for us, so we do that aspect and we can do decently okay. And then they've got lifesteal, turn health into mana and then mana back into health, and some minor flexibility for it. You find ways to overcome handicaps. What's really sad though is when, even with these insane, horrible handicaps, you still manage to beat people in like battlegrounds and shit. It's like, guys, I really should not be winning any of this shit. Why do you guys suck so much? I'm gonna stop in front to attack. Yeah, one of my favorite ones was the Warrior's Charge ability. For those of you unfamiliar, the Warrior Charge is like you're standing here and the enemy's standing here, and you push the button and you go run up right to them, stun them, and then you can start smacking on them, right? Well, in our internet, you'd see it and use it, and this guy's here. Well, I'll do it this way. The guy is running this way, and you're running this way, and you use the charge ability, charge, boom, and then you stun them, you're still not in its range. They're outside of here. You'd walk up to them, the stun would break, and they'd run off. So it'd be an entirely pointless thing if you weren't facing the right way or they weren't stationary. So you try and run up to them and charge them and stun them. But our internet would recognize the previous point they were at, not their current point. It would stun them and put us behind where we were. So we'd have to run back up to them. It was just, I couldn't use it. I just couldn't use it. Didn't stop me from trying though. But yeah, it's interesting. And one of the other aspects is, especially in games like that, when all these people, oh yeah, just use this skill and use, like, build it off the charge ability. I can't use the charge ability. It doesn't work. So I got to use a secondary way of doing things. Okay, yeah, well, just do it this way. I don't have that skill. It doesn't work for me. I have to do it this way. Oh yeah, just keep close tabs on them, run behind them. I can't run behind them. What the hell do I do? And so you end up having to develop your own alternate ways of fighting, of overcoming those issues. Nerf by Silent. Yeah, I physically can't use it. Or one of the other ones is rogue gameplay. In Warcraft, the rogue had like 5 action points or something, combo points I think it was, and like they were very click stab, click stab, click stun, click this, click poof, and you going like that. And to try and do it with Satellite, click, hit, stab, click, hit, stab, click, hit, stab. Didn't quite work out. And so, in order to get a combo going with like a rogue character, my brother played the rogue. I don't like any of that stuff. He would like sit there and spam, and we would cue our moves ahead of time. So it would be like, okay, normally you'd like hit the stun button, they'd get stunned, you'd hit the next one, and then you'd go off and you'd hit it, and you'd wait for them to respond. We would not wait for them to respond. We were able to play a second and a half ahead continuously. So it would go 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. They're stunned. 4. The second one goes off. 3. That goes off. And so you're sitting there planning ahead, and you have to have everything planned for. And if any of that falls apart, you have to, okay, shit, fell apart. Well, redo. If you want to play satellite internet, knock yourself out, man. It works out. It doesn't sometimes. One of the weird things though was Guild Wars and Warcraft were the only ones that really handled it well. Get ready for bed. It's 10:30 p.m. All right, man, knock yourself out and get some nice sleep. It does your body good. And I'm not painting much, am I? Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, it's hey, welcome. Stopping by with YouTube. Hey man, what's up? Go pass out on YouTube. Alright, go ahead. I don't do the passing out with like background noise. I actually go to sleep in the dark with quiet. It's serene and nice and peaceful. Though the entire rest of my family goes to sleep with movies and videos and TV shows blaring off in the distance. And it dried. Shit. But yeah, go ahead, man. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for being here. It's always fun. You never know what the day has in store for you, especially with the viewers from all over the world. I love that. That's the thing I do love most about this channel. Just how there's absolutely nothing you can plan for. I planned this day to make this bow on the dress, or the skirt, and it worked out. And then we started talking about chickens and Warcraft and satellite and whatever the hell else. Belly dancing, which I actually haven't done in a long time. I can't remember the last time I actually did that. Oh, so thank you for that. Thank you for getting me to chat about belly dance. I do have to fix that poster in the back, but I'll have to go find new tacks. Bye-bye. It's already been a good stream. I've got half an hour. Yes, do the bow. But I do have it. Can't quite see it, but I've got it there. Oh yeah, I should probably show you guys what I managed to do. Gave a little bit of a very minor, but there's a little bit of a bump here to accommodate for bow flaps around, and then it kind of just sticks out right there. So I do have a bow on the portrait. That works out. Now I gotta work on the hair and the face, I guess. I guess I could go on the shape. I gotta fix that part there. It still shows up. I had to cover up the skirt and cut it a bit to make it lift back up in the back there. So the bow seems to be okay. I guess I'm procrastinating a bit with some of this stuff, but it is what it is. So let's go with more white and fill in these grid lines I've got here. But yeah, you never know what way the world will go, what direction life will take you. 2020 is the epitome of that, quite literally. You had plans for 2020, none of it came true. None of it happened. And it decided to throw the kitchen sink and the whole shebang at you as well. Because why the hell not? 2020. I am curious as to what the history books will say about this one singular year. Bought an Android tablet. Alright, cool. What do you think of it? Yeah, currently I've got this is mine. Not too bad. Can't quite see it, but I like it. It's nice having just a pretty big screen instead of a tiny little phone one. And I'm quite fond of the Android user interface. Oh, Huawei. Oh, it's a Huawei. I don't know. I think it'll go down like the Black Plague. Huawei. That's an odd brand. I don't quite know particular about them, but Samsung Tab S2. I think it's Tab A with S Pen 10.5 or something. I think it's 10.1. Yeah, Samsung Tab A 10.1 with S Pen, because yeah, so one of the reasons I got that was to use as reference for drawing or some such. And actually, that's the thing. One thing I haven't used it for. Why the hell not? Why haven't I used that? I should do that. And the other reason was I wanted nice camera pictures. It's got decent camera pictures and Instagram and social media shit like that. Which I did for a while, but found it wasn't quite for me. I might go back to that, touch up some of it, but it was not the best way of things. For $300 otherwise. I think that's how much I paid for mine. Rough. Oh, I think I paid a bit extra for mine. Yeah. Yeah, mine's an old one. From 2010. Give me a sec. Uh, 10, 12, somewhere around there. Bit of an oldie one, but it still works. It's still fine. Thanks, Trump, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. That bit, huh? I think Samsung is Korean, or is it Taiwan? Samsung isn't a Chinese-made one. It's a different brand. I can't remember specifically what it is. But yeah. Would I be able to buy something for you and then just ship it to you cheaper? Is that a thing? Like if I bought it, you paid me, and then just the shipping fees would be the only difference between a American brand? Would that work or be too much hassle for anything? I wonder how much of a difference that would make. South Korean. 450. Alright, yeah, that'd be thereabouts. Probably kill a discount. Okay, probably. That's probably where the price range comes up again. I always kind of wonder some of that stuff. Just the international swapping, stuff like that. But now you've got me curious. I know. Yeah, well, it is what it is. If you guys do ever want me to try and help you out with any of those regards, let me know. As long as it's not anything illegal, I'll do what I can for you if I'm able to. No sense not trying to save a friend a couple of bucks, some way, somehow. Alright, and the bow there. Need a bit more paint. Not you guys. And it doesn't want to be like that. Great. And there we are. Very capable. No, mine is. Yeah, that's alright. Galaxy Tab A 2016 actually with S Pen is the one I've got. I could have swore this was a lot older than that. Yeah, I have a Galaxy Tab A with S Pen in 2016, and I think it's yeah, 10.1. My battery's not too much of an issue. Mine, it does decently well. It lasts as long as I need it to. And most of the time, my tablet, when it's in use, gets plugged in, so it doesn't get used up, I think. Well, I don't know. I've heard so many different ways of how batteries should be charged that I actually don't know the official way to do it now. I don't know what kills the battery and what keeps it alive, other than physical trauma. I know that's really bad for a battery. Alright, so I don't quite know what else to do on this painting without excessive planning. You know what? I'm gonna go for the impressionist approach here. Yeah, batteries. We don't actually do many repairs on tablets at our place anymore, because most of the time people want like just the charge port replaced on their tablet, but in order to do so I have to dismantle the whole thing, and here, I'll give an example. Yeah, I've heard actually both ways, so I can't actually say one way or the other which one is better or not, and whatnot. But for instance, oh, here I'll just get my private weird stuff out of the way. But you see this black frame all the way around the tablet. That is what's glued, adhesive-wise, like sticky tape all the way around. In order to take this screen off, to get to the battery, you have to take off this big old fat strip of adhesive all the way around. And then not crack the glass, which is easier said than done. So when people come in for a $5 charge port replacement, I have to not break the $100, $200 screen in the process, which isn't really a risk to reward way of doing things. So we don't really do tablet repairs other than screens, because at that point the part that could break is the part that we're replacing anyway, so no loss. Heat up the internals. I can see that aspect, yeah. Alright. I can see that working out. But yeah, I've heard just, yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, it's like charge ports. You can buy charge ports on phones and devices for anywhere from between like $5 to like $12 for like just a charge port piece. But then to get to that, you have to dismantle the phone or the tablet or whatever, which involves the screen and other main components. No, don't do it. Yeah, so we don't do tablets unless it's a screen repair, because at that, and even then it's iffy because we've had some odd replacement parts. Yeah, iPads, I've had a lot of trouble with iPad screens. The replacement parts I get tend to like fail or be made really cheaply and stop working after a while and get like dead spots in them, which people don't really like having on a tablet, which is understandable. So yeah, we've kind of written off tablets as a service we provide. It's not that I can't do it, it's just that there's a very significant risk of us losing lots of money in doing so. So yeah, that way. Alright, so hands ain't perfect, but that's no real biggie, I guess. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's actually that is one aspect I actually really abused a while back. If you go to Google Translate, they have an option to draw the kanji and figure it out. And if you're on a PC, you have to sit there with the mouse and try and make it work right, and it doesn't come out right. But if you do it on a tablet with a stylus, oh yeah, that kanji, oh yeah, that's the one right there. And it's so much easier than trying to mouse draw a 12-stroke kanji. Shit. It's stupid. Alright, so let's go with where'd you go? There it is. And so yeah, the stylus is really nice for stuff like that. Alright, so you know what? Let's go that route. Making a potentially big brain decision here. I'm going to redo this. Just draw over it on the on dry paint. But yeah, I found the stylus is really handy for odd little things like that. And one of the things I have is a note, scratch note, where you can just pop it out and start scribbling notes on it. And that's the thing I use most with the stylus, because it's just really handy being able to scribble something instead of having to sit there and try and type it. I am not the fastest mobile typer. it's not quite the best. Hell, I still use a flip phone to text things. Though I don't quite recommend trying to text with a flip phone. It's not all that good. But it does do the job. Yeah, shit. I got cocky. Well, now here's a blurst image for you. Sailor Moon without her pigtails. And upside down. It's definitely something I didn't think I'd ever see at one point in my life. Of course, I never quite thought about that either. Alright. Come on. Work with me. I currently use a tablet studying Japanese. It's pretty good for studying Japanese. It makes it a lot easier because Japanese is a very script written language, not very much so a text written one or type. That too. And just a lot of nice little quality of life type things. Why is it that when I want the paint to dry, it doesn't dry, and when I don't want the paint to dry, it dries? Because right here, I've got this little blob here. It's still wet. I'm trying to fill in the gap, but all I'm doing is mushing it around. And I've got to wait for it to dry before I can give it a second shot. Because I keep just wiping it away. Well, maybe I'll just fill in that spot there. But yeah, it really is nice, just the quality of life for a lot of little things. And it's all that little stuff that you kind of take for granted at times. Alright, I think that's most of the main stuff. And I think I'll basically call it good. I'm waiting for this to dry before I can mess with the hair. I guess I could try and draw on the face. Maybe. Yeah, I'll do that right side up. Ta-da! That's one of those magic upside down pictures. But yeah, it's, comics are nice. I used to read them. Well, not the comic books, but webcomics. Quite a lot, back in the day. But, all the ones I read either stopped updating, went on hiatus, or went back to fix things and never returned. All sort of stuff like that. Or, they no longer became what they originally were, which is a really sad one. I really hate when that happens. But it's life, so you take the good with the bad. Otherwise, the good doesn't seem as good as it is. Yeah, that is an odd. She's falling now. Holy shit! It's magic painting. Okay, so here's a question I don't quite know how to handle. For her hair, should I have it like be level on the ground where her hands are, or should I just have it free falling because she's in the vacuum of space or whatever the hell it is? I'm not quite sure which one would work better. I think the hair pulling would make a decent look, but she does have hair that just like drifts off to the side, so I could just have it veer off and it be a both ways picture. Well, let's do it that way, because this way she's hand sanding with hair just draping over the edge. And then this way, she's falling with the hair going up top. There you go. Yeah, I'll do that. The free falling. That'll be an interesting way. Then there's no wrong way to have this painting. Let's see. Other than sideways, that doesn't quite seem to fit. But it's really weird. I designed this from the ground up to be upside down, but it still works right side up. That's really interesting. I'm sure the dresses are still falling. Oh, cool. It's just, that's neat. I wasn't quite expecting that. I did not plan for that, but yet here we are. Anyway, but yeah, that'll be about it for today. I've got to wait for this to clear up, and it's going to be just a pain. Are you done yet? No, not quite. Not quite. Otherwise, I'll just keep sitting there smushing it around, and it's not going to look any good. Paint. Oh, gotta clean up the other brush. Yeah, so this has been an interesting project. I'm actually quite glad I started it. It started out with some got an issue there, oddity there, maybe. No, she's just got the. Now looking at this way, I see a couple of errors that pop up, but it still works out mostly. But yeah, no. Thank you for your guys' time. It's always interesting with you guys. You guys make these streams. Quite literally, you guys are what makes this interesting. Otherwise, it'd just be me here rambling to myself about boring shit and not whatever you guys have in mind. But yeah, see you guys. Have fun. Might be in the realm of finishing it tomorrow. We'll see. We're like that close. We got the face and the hair. Should be it. But depending on how much I talk, that's the question. But yeah, see you guys later. Have fun and take a look at belly dancing. It's quite fun. You should try it. Trust me. Won't go wrong with it. Take care.